листать, чтобы они сами листали, чтобы им удобнее было. Как передавать им будем тогда? Просто чтобы не было вот этого, что дальше. Может, одну нет?
Одну вот эту треть. Какой формат? Короче, это сюда приходит, еще раз снимаем.
Тогда лучше, чтобы правые зашли.
Уважаемые
Dear colleagues, good afternoon, good morning. I'm happy to see you at the International Business Week. I am happy to see those who we have offline and online. Today, I want to tell you why we delayed our session. We cannot start talking about the road services before we make an introduction. So I would like to start with introducing the concept of the session. We know that the Republic of Bashkortostan today is a region that shows the pilot project, the best solution, the best practices in the road service development. We want to say that at this forum, we are aspiring for gathering a plenary session, a discussion session, or even a strategic session. There we can jointly develop the solutions and the decisions. How can we adopt the experience of Bashkortostan to facilitate the experts of road services? How we can improve the facilities, how can we accelerate our way? We unite all the members of the processes. We invite authorities, businesses, federal and local governments. It's my pleasure to introduce Sergei Morozov, the member of State Duma of the Federal Assembly of the Russian Federation and the chairperson of the State Duma Committee for Regional Policy and Self-Governance. He is a former governor of Ulyanovsk region, and I am happy to say that we've been working with him successfully for many years in different regions. So how do you see the prospects of the road services being the former governor? Later we will have Rustam Muratov, First Deputy Prime Minister of the Government of the Republic of Bashkortostan, the Minister of the Economic Development and Investment Policy of the Republic of Bashkortostan. Today we also have Mr. Fairuzov, who is in charge of road facilities development in the Republic of Bashkortostan. Also we have the project head of products of Bashkortostan. Today we have Deputy Minister of Entrepreneurship and Tourism of the Republic of Bashkortostan, Svetlana Vereshchagina. Also, we have representatives of municipalities, Deputy Chief of the City Council, Arsanov Vadim, Deputy Mayor for Municipal Policies of Kushnarenkovsky District, Ahmadulin, CEO of Chishmy M5. And also we have a representative of the Agency for Strategic Initiatives, who is in charge for the adoption of best practices. A little forward. To improve the economic situation and facilitate the achievement of the national goal that our president has set, we are implementing the national projects, and under this project we implement top priority projects. Sometimes we are working ahead of time, and we want to embrace and adopt the best practices. We want to do our best at involving entrepreneurs into our projects. Road services are viewed by us as the Institute of Development of Entrepreneurship. See it as a growth point. I would like to give the floor to Sergei Morozov. Can you assess your long experience and express your point of view from the viewpoint of the legal framework? Can you share your vision of the road facilities and road services development prospects? Thank you. Good morning, dear friends, dear neighbors. It has already been said that for 17 years I was governor of the region, and I know for sure what it looks like, what the entrepreneurship looks like, and I guess that business is important for any region, regardless the prospects and the wealth of this region, because this work helps you to learn more about the history of your region and your country. I would like to express my gratitude to all of you for raising this topic here today. I have already said on my behalf and on behalf of my colleagues in the Единая Россия party and the State Duma, I guess that the road services is a vast, large idea, and it's a national-wide idea. And it is important not only for entrepreneurs, but also for those who want to learn more about the history of our country. Recently, we cooperated with a number of researchers and experts. We were making a poll among our people, and we asked them what they want to see about Russia and what they wish for Russia. What is the future that they desire? This is a simple question, and I guess that every family has this question arising every once in a while. And this opinion poll shows that our nation values the good labor, the good job to have, and I guess that it will contribute to the success of the country. Successful entrepreneurship, secure and comfortable environment, and an opportunity to express yourself, opportunity to improve yourself. What conclusion can we make based on this? Entrepreneurship, including road facilities and road services, becomes a top priority for Russia. Our people embody the life in the country, and they see the equality between the road services and the quality of their life, their living standards. They want to see the polite police and the polite authorities, officials. They see it as the feature of successfully developing country. This is the vision of our respondents. People aging between 25 and 44 want Russia to be comfortable for living, citizens friendly. People of my age, like over 45, want to see Russia as a great country, with its historical might, with its respect to the culture, sports, education, success in foreign policies, import substitution, and the response to the sanctions we are exposed to. Generally, they associate the Russian success with the military might. Every Saturday, I visit Russia exhibition at VDNH, and there we actually see both directions developing. You can also see our vision of this in our project. We want to embrace what's near and dear. Secondly, today we visited a number of facilities, including road service facilities. There is a company that forms the new standards for the road facilities in Bashkortostan and the Russian Federation. We see what entrepreneurship values. It is important for the entrepreneurs people to be proud of them. We want to encourage people to step out of the shadow. It's not just the words for us. I know our moderator. I've worked with her before, and I know that she was involved into the national project aimed at the entrepreneurship development. And this project will end next week. And we see that we need another project like this. Our Единая Россия party fraction in the State Duma is working on the new project that will allow Russia to make a huge step forward, a huge leap forward in the technological progress. 5 years of entrepreneurship development is the working name of this project, but we've been recently introduced by the new name for this project, 5 years of national development. I guess it is important that this will be 5 years of progressive entrepreneurship, and I see it as a key point. Answering the question that I've been asked, I hope that we have a common vision. Now it's time for us to learn more about our country. Our knowledge about our country is poor, not only in terms of historical facts, but also from the point of view of geography. I looked up the statistics. It says that Russians often prefer domestic vacations. 70% of Russian travelers prefer to spend their vacations across Russia, and they prefer car trips. So our tourists travel down Russian roads, and that's why they need good roads and good road services. The most quickly developing tourism is car tourism. It has been said that the target of the Russian business is to encourage the growth of the Russian entrepreneurship, and we need to aspire for the highest comfort standards, security standards. We need to respond to the demands of our tourists regardless of their income. We want to encourage both young people and family people to travel across Russia and enjoy their vacations in their homeland. And I totally support this idea. I would like to express my gratitude to our moderator for her contribution into the work of the national agency and for her contribution to the consolidation between the business and the government of the Russian Federation. And I guess that you are carrying a very important, even though complicated, mission. You want to create the new image for the road service facilities. I guess it shouldn't be just a petrol station. It shouldn't be just some cheap hotel or motel or cheap cafe. But we want to give our people an opportunity to travel and enjoy vacations in Russia through the road service facilities. We want people to be proud of their countries and for them to feel themselves as a part of the Russian history. Choose What's Near is the project of our party. And this is one of the keys to our project. And I guess that Bashkortostan can become a role model for the entire country for developing these standards and a project, if you like. Of course, we understand that our sites are located not evenly, are not distributed evenly across country, and I know that the roads are long and the trips are long, and we realize the challenges that our road services face. Yesterday, late night, after my trip across Bashkortostan's enterprises, I had a meeting. And as a result of this meeting, we decided that soon we will introduce a suggestion to Mr. Radi Habir of the Head of the Republic and Mr. Nazarov, the Prime Minister, to develop the concept of development of the road facilities for the nationwide purposes. using the experience of the Republic of Bashkortostan, I guess we can start with the Krasnodarski Krai. And this project will involve both amendments to the legal framework, it will involve grants, funding, and projects for development of road facilities, because I guess that such a project will provide more job opportunities, will improve the economic situation, and will eventually expand the budget of the region. All in all, I guess that it will encourage us to understand each other better and visit each other more often. And to wrap it up, it's not a new topic for me. It's not a novelty for me. In 2004, I entered my office as the governor. And since then, I could see the ways how the economic situation in Ulyanovsk can improve. And one of the directions was the road service facilities. And many things that are implemented in our country today were discussed then, but we couldn't implement those projects back then because our country wasn't ready. We didn't understand how to build a roadmap. We didn't understand how to build a layout. We didn't understand how to analyze the demand of the clients. We weren't ready, and we didn't have social media. We didn't have enough communication. So, and these all items are the requirements of a large project like this. So thank you for raising this topic. I really hope that you will share some interesting ideas with me, and I'm really looking forward to enjoying your presentation. Thank you.
За поддержку Сергея Ивановича. И, наша задача была как раз и показать, что такой проект достоин поддержки на федеральном уровне, и спасибо за инициативу включения в национальный проект, даже в части финансовой поддержки. И как бывший чиновник федерального уровня, как обычно смотрящий на меры поддержки, которые регионы запрашивают, поддержите нас, выделите финансирование, обычно федеральные ведомства говорят, а покажите, что уже было сделано, на примере чего мы можем поддержать. И вот наша сейчас будет дальнейшая дискуссия направлена на то, чтобы посмотреть, как это было реализовано, какие эффекты уже привнесла реализация концепции. И хотела бы слово передать Светлане Михайловне Верещагиной. Вот как Сергей Иванович уже сказал, что почему раньше были не готовы, да, наверное, мы все прекрасно понимаем, что, наверное, той слаженности, которая сейчас у команд происходит, ее не было. Не было такого диалога с бизнесом и взаимодействия, в том числе и с потребителем. А когда все слаженно начало консолидироваться, синхронизироваться, то стало получаться. И когда все стороны стали открытыми. И поэтому, Светлана Михайловна, тогда вам первое слово именно на уровне республики. Мы понимаем, что вот сегодняшний объект, в котором мы сегодня утром оказались, вроде проезжаем мимо, сразу уже в красивом дизайн-стиле оформлен Башкирия, но на самом деле за этим стоит большая работа для того, чтобы этот стиль появился у предпринимателя. Насколько знаем, есть несколько типовых объектов, поэтому расскажите, пожалуйста, как все начиналось и что сейчас есть.
Да. Добрый день, уважаемые участники сегодняшней дискуссии. Сергей Иванович, Юлия Сергеевна, спасибо вам. Прежде всего, позвольте поприветствовать вас у нас в Башкортостане. Спасибо за внимание к этой теме. Спасибо, Сергей Иванович, за высокую оценку той практики, которую мы сейчас на территории Республики Башкортостан реализуем. Действительно, очевидно, что придорожный сервис – это важный фактор туристической инфраструктуры. И Башкортостану уже действительно есть чем поделиться. 3 года назад мы начали работу по формированию системного подхода к развитию придорожного сервиса. Я коротко расскажу о тех направлениях, по которым мы работали. Для нас это, как для многих регионов, действительно актуальная тема. Тем более она обусловлена тем, что у нас на территории Республики Башкортостан проходят 3 федеральные автодороги. Это больше, чем в среднем по регионам Российской Федерации. Поэтому, конечно, важность этой задачи изначально для нас была понятна. Основные направления, по которым мы организовали свою работу. Ну, прежде всего, конечно, вот как вы, Юлия Сергеевна, уже отметили, успех работы зависел от взаимодействия разных групп, как органов власти, так и бизнеса. Тут задействовано и Министерство земельных и имущественных отношений. Очень важно было правильно организовать взаимодействие с организациями дорожного хозяйства. То есть здесь у нас очень слаженный тандем получился из многих участников этого процесса. И, конечно, бизнес нам в первую очередь что сказал? Что это направление предпринимательской деятельности достаточно специфичная. Есть ряд затрат, которые не свойственны для других бизнесов. Это прежде всего инфраструктура придорожная, это инфраструктура инженерная. И здесь республика пошла по пути предоставления мер государственной поддержки. И у нас сейчас в республике действует субсидия на компенсацию затрат на инженерную транспортную инфраструктуру. То есть предприниматель, который заходит в эту нишу, имеет возможность получить эту субсидию в пределах 30 миллионов рублей. Вторая мера поддержки.
Rebels. The second one is we give the area without any auditions. We have a lot of entrepreneurs which have used this opportunity. And the last direction is that we have this so-called area bank. Because we have alongside the federal routes a lot of rules, and we have
Урале с нашими региональными службами дорожного хозяйства и определили те земельные участки, по которым есть доступность организации съезда с автодорог. И сформировали порядка, вот сейчас у нас около 300 земельных участков в этом банке. То есть предприниматель, когда заходит, у него есть возможность сразу выбрать для себя удобную локацию. Вся эта база размещена на инвестиционной карте, и по каждому земельному участку есть порядка 34 параметров, которые позволят оценить его инвестиционную привлекательность. Ну и еще одно не менее важное направление – это стандарты и стилистическое решение к объектам. Понятно, что придорожный сервис – это все-таки часть туристической инфраструктуры. И когда автотурист проезжает по тому или иному региону, вот нам, например, как Башкортостану, важно, чтобы он, проезжая, особенно когда вот по нескольким регионам путешествует, понимал, в каком регионе он находится. И вот вы сегодня были на объекте Башкортостанция. Есть идентификация с Республикой Башкортостан. Вот мы своей концепцией рекомендовали нашим предпринимателям использовать стилистику с национальной идентикой. Это не является обязательным, это на усмотрение предпринимателя, но для нас отрадно, что многие предприниматели это видят для себя определенным преимуществом. То есть тут республика получает возможность продвигать свой туристический потенциал, культуру, придорожный сервис, объект придорожного сервиса, дополнительную клиентскую базу.
Structure also has an opportunity to get more tourists. It's a very important element of our work too. I also want to draw attention that the object of road services it's going to fulfill some of the needs of the tourists. But we also think that we need to develop this tourist potential in the Republic. This is why we think that, judging by our experience, we need to work with entrepreneurship and we need to have more souvenirs on the roadside facilities, which show the culture and traditions of the region. And also we need to implement the objects of national food. We need to get information desks which tell about Republic. We need to get some billboards. There are a lot of meanings, to be honest. Or even, for example, if we have food services, I think we can get billboards in which you can see the videos about the region. This is the opportunities in which you can give more information about the region, and this is the opportunity we need to get. And this is how we need to talk with the entrepreneurs, and I think they are going to support this idea.
This is, I think, pretty much all of the aspects I wanted to say. I think you have envisioned our experience, and also we wanted to give the QR codes in order to make tourists use these QR codes and see some of the information and get some measures and get some help if they need and support and information in the.
Это главное, что мы понимаем, что у нас сегодняшняя вся наша работа зависит от качества госуправления, от командной работы. И форма работы, проектная форма работы, она является собой вообще сейчас залог успеха. Иногда, когда на нас смотрят предприниматели, жители, думают, ну вот они там что-то говорят, проектное управление. А на самом деле проектное управление на сегодняшний момент позволяет вот такие сквозные проекты, которые не имеют иногда там каких-то спецотраслевых приоритетных проектов внутри правительства, регионального, реализовывать такие инициативы. И вот я
But we still need to realize them. This is why I want to. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but I want to say that I really like this topic we've been discussed before. I think it's understandable that the road services today doesn't really get what people need today. Like for example, investors in tourism understand. This is why I think it's really great that, and I think that we need to think how we can get these projects and business opportunities to be implemented, because as you have mentioned, it was right, but I think we lack of it. We don't have enough of it. Like for example, today I saw a market with like on a road service, and I think that a proprietor had closed it and made a small fitness center instead of it, and the area was like there wasn't anything. But then he made a museum of it with military machines, and I thought it was really great. I think we also saw some shop. So it was a shop with big windows, with a big area for cooking meals, and a lot of people started coming there regularly, just to talk, just to relax. I think it's very important too, and people provide the money to do it. And this is why I think that business is going to grow really fast in this area too. Thank you very much, Sergey Ivanovich. I think we've discussed that we had projects on federal level and some smaller projects and some interesting solutions. I'm going to give the floor to Nerus Vagimowicz, who helps us to develop the road services, but we also need to understand that if we can see the new projects and new road services, we need to also get the figures. And the government always asks how much money is going to be spent there and what is the efficiency. So tell us, please, enlighten us.
Dear colleagues, Mr. Morozov, I would like to express my gratitude for your contribution and for your real involvement into what we do. And we really appreciate this attitude of yours. Development of road services is a top priority business for us, as it is viewed by the federal authorities. In August last, there was a meeting led by Mr. Mishustin. There we also received a lot of positive feedback about what we do. Ms. Alferova was right saying that the fact is a stubborn thing. and we need to work with what we have practically. I would like to tell you how the road services work and grow in our republic. Bashkortostan focuses on this a lot. The main factor for our business is the favorable location of the Republic of Bashkortostan. We have unique natural, historical monuments and sites. We have something to show to the tourists. Speaking about the length of the roads, we are leaders of the Russian Federation. Our competitors are only the Altai Krai. The differences in the length are around 3,000 kilometers. We have 3 federal motorways. They serve thousands of cars per day. It is one of the most busy motorways, and we have one of the busiest areas of federal motorways. Our motorways are main federal motorways. We are a transportation hub between Europe and Asia. The Republic of Bashkortostan has historically been a part of the global significant trade routes. M5, M7, and Urals motorways are federal motorways that cross our republic. Also, we are going to touch M12 construction. This motorway will cross the town of Dürtüli. When we are involved into road construction, we want to make sure that there are enough facilities along the road, such as cafes or shops or hotels. As Ms. Alferova has already said, it is important to work with the investors and with the municipalities. And the Ministry of Entrepreneurship and Trade views it as our task. This is what my team does. What we've achieved so far makes us one of the most promising and achieving region of the country. We understand that we have businesses that are working now, and we know that there are businesses that need investments, that seek investments, and we know that some businesses can diversify their funds. I guess that there is a room for contribution not only for domestic entrepreneurs, but also for international entrepreneurs, for example, entrepreneurs from China or Kazakhstan. We have a systematic approach to this idea. We want to develop a concept. So every concept starts with the analysis. We need to define the problems of the industry. We need to understand what we lack, what we demand. We digitized our analysis. We formed the foundation and developed the target. And having the foundation and having the target, we managed to figure out the ways from our point A to our point B. And this plan stretches to 2024 for the Republic of Bashkortostan. On the daily basis, we assist investors at every stage of investment projects. We constantly improve the legal procedures. We cooperate with the interdisciplinary institutions for this purpose. Also, we want to digitize our processes. Digitalization and digitization of processes is an important thing. When I started working in the Ministry of Entrepreneurship, I realized that without automation, it will be not effective to work with the government and the businesses. That's why we focus so much on digitization of applications from people. We want to form a single window, single shop portal under the Development Corporation in the Republic of Bashkortostan. This way, we will make our work paper-free, and the terms of assistance will shorten significantly as well. Because so far it takes a long time to settle any issue. So I guess that every party will benefit from this introduction, this idea. And I guess that our services will be user-friendly for all the stakeholders. Also, we take into account the requirements to the road services facilities. We advise our investors to keep them in mind as well. We have 8 types of projects, such as cafes from 100 square meters to multifunctional centers that includes all the services out there that may be found interesting for the travelers. We never stop monitoring, actually. And we adopt experiences of our colleagues from the Moscow region, for example. We signed an agreement with an investor that is involved into the projects that might be interesting for our goals. We are very flexible and agile, and we are looking for people who are eager to invest in the Republic and adopt the out-of-the-box thinking. And also we want to introduce mobile service facilities as well along the way. The Republic of Bashkortostan has formed a land bank. Today in our investment map you can see land plots that any investor can choose, go and take a look how they can use this land plot for their purposes. There is all the engineering facilities there already. We take into account the suggestions of municipalities. We really want to take into account their vision. We want to align all the processes. Besides, we have effective, large-scale support measures to stimulate the reconstruction of engineering and road facilities. We want these projects to be successful. You know that the most popular support measure is the bidding-free land plot allocation. We provide preferences to such measure users. We provide taxation preferences for them in order for them to experience as less pressure as possible. We want to provide them with comfortable conditions of getting a land plot. Also, we compensate their expenses for engineering facilities such as gasification, electrification, water supplies, sewage. We subsidize their investment projects, subsidize their rental costs. So far, the Republic of Bashkortostan is now implementing 114 investment projects under our supervision. The total investment cost worth is 14 billion rubles. And figures speak for themselves. It is a very interesting project to be involved in. The Republic of Bashkortostan has introduced 420 new facilities and upgraded over 490 facilities. We presented these results to Mr. Mishustin, and at that time we had 413 new facilities. And I guess that this illustrates the results of my team's work. 1,200 projects have already been implemented for the service facilities. Investors are really interested in the facilities situated along the federal motorways because businesses want their enterprises to pay back as soon as possible. Usually the project pays back within 7 or 8 years. We constantly keep in touch with the business. We listen to what they want. We want to meet them halfway. We want to become even more attractive, agile, and flexible for them. We amend criteria for them. We keep simplifying the procedures. We do not view investors based on the amount of money that they want to invest. This way, we highlight that we can help investors despite of their capabilities. We are involving the Directorate of Road Facilities of the Republic of Bashkortostan and other institutions. They are eager to consult investors to help them and to provide assistance to them. We are happy to receive their consultations, and investors also feel encouraged to talk to these institutions. We keep in touch with municipalities to attract investors. I must admit that without municipalities, our work would be very hard. I really appreciate your contribution, your assistance to investors, and your involvement in their achievements. Municipalities hold entrepreneurship hours to encourage entrepreneurs into road services business industry. And they do their best to help people implement their projects along the roads of the Republic. It's also important to say that our experience is interesting for other regions as well, and we are ready to share. We are open for communication. If there is anything we can do for you, please feel free.
Thank you very much for the detailed explanation of the project with the figures and the realization which has been made in photos. We need to think that more than 1,000 objects have been implemented, and these dynamics show that the project is developing really quickly. And if we recall the forum's main topic, we have already mentioned that we see this culture to choose hours within the country, and this is what relates to this project first of all. And as far as I'm not concerned, I think that this conception of road services and the products of Bashkortostan, I would like to give the floor to Svetlana Pavlovna Ilnich, and we need to see which are the projects of Bashkortostan, and we need to integrate and we need to come from the culture of business and come to the culture of consumption. Good day, dear colleagues, and our project is realized from 2013, and we have made a mechanism which helps the investors and which helps the entrepreneurs in Russia and in other countries. It means that the production has made in the Republic of Bashkortostan using the local products, and it meets all the requirements, and we constantly see if our raw materials are up to the standards. And this year we have 120 facilities which have entered, which is like an absolute record for all during all of the work time. 626 facilities are in the food. More than 800 facilities have this opportunity to be labeled as Bashkortostan product. We have all of the product groups, but the result of our activity is that we can be presented in the country, in Russian Federation. 253 facilities can realize their products and be exporters. Our main tools are organization of conferences, some activities, some courses. It's like a 6-hour course on marketing. We give some opportunities to develop your own business. These are marketing activities and conferences, and we also have these conferences for all the participants of this project. We have made more than 150 business missions. We've been to Chelyabinsk, Orenburg, Набережные Челны, and etc. We've been to Republic of Belarus. We've been to Republic of Iran and some other countries. And of course, our activities have found this perspective working with road services. We have found an operator, and we are discussing the opportunities of placing this in petrol stations of oil, which also gives us more opportunities to widen our opportunities in this field, and for the local citizens to buy products which meets the requirements. Within 10 years, our project has become a good collaboration between those agencies and some organizations, local organizations. We have the reputation of good products which meet the requirements, and we have this motto: choose your local, which is even more important in our current situation.
Today we also have Mr. Muratov. Mr. Muratov be aspiring to show you how we work in the alignment and how we transfer the initiatives upwards. Mr. Morozov and I are speculating on how to form this concept and how the region can promote and market its products. At the level of municipality, we can see how the Bashkortostan's government works, but where is the business movement moving? I would like to give the floor to Yana Chernyshenko, Deputy Head of Ufimsky District and Business Sheriff. Can you tell us how the Business Sheriff's institutions work? And we know that this institution has been working for a long time. So how do you view the development of road services today? How investors are informed of their opportunities? Thank you very much, Ms. Alferova, for giving me the floor. Good morning, dear colleagues. Today I would like to shortly introduce how the road facilities are developing in the Ufimsky district. Ufimsky district is lying in the vicinity of the capital city of Bashkortostan. That's why it's very popular with investors. There are many facilities of the road services in our district. The district is crossed by thousands of kilometers of motorways. 87 kilometers of these are motorways. There are also regional roads, and over 1,000 of kilometers are local roads. Today, the district has 129 facilities of road services, and 73 of those were established over last 3 years. It means that they were established since the project was launched. Let me tell more about the examples, and let me tell more about the most significant facilities for the district. One facility was established in 2021. It is Ufa Oil Petroleum Station in Mikhailovka village. Today we have 13 projects related to road facilities, and they passed the investment hour under the monitoring of head of the Republic of Bashkortostan, Radi Habirov, and they are worth over 1 billion rubles and provide a significant number of job opportunities. So these projects are now being implemented. One of the most significant projects is General Service LLC, DAF Truck Center in Zhukovo village, and Gazprom Car Petroleum Center. So these are the most significant road facilities in our district. Investors apply directly to our municipality. We help them form the package of documentation that they will introduce at the Entrepreneurship Hour. At the Entrepreneurship Hour, they can use the single shop opportunity to have all their questions answered in terms of how they can use the land plot. They are informed of all the legal peculiarities of the Republic of Bashkortostan in terms of the land areas that they're interested in. They settle the package of issues that they face when they form the investment projects. We work with them in the single shop mode. Thank you. This is exactly how we want to demonstrate the alignment between the municipality and business, and we want the investors to have equal feedback. Mr. Muratov, I would like to give the floor to you. I remember us having an investment forum in Nizhny Novgorod. Now we are in the Republic of Bashkortostan, and we see how heads of municipalities speak about their experiences and practices. And we speak about this topic at larger forums and discuss it with the ministers of the economic development of different regions. And this is actually the feedback that we expect from our municipalities. Mr. Muratov, are you ready to become the role model, the pilot project, the donor of experience for other municipalities and regions to become the pioneers in this concept? The Republic says that they have already launched such a project, and they can become the foundation for this national project. But to make this decision, we need your opinion. Thank you very much, Ms. Alfarova, for this introduction, for having us here today. And I will be happy to answer your questions. I'm glad that this topic actually opens up the forum. You all know that road service facilities are hard to implement, hard to launch. But when we have such managers, just such as yourself, we see this task as manageable. Because I remember your work in the Ulyanovsk region. I know that you are a knowledgeable person with over 15 years of experience and practice, and you have a unique view of the situation. You have the unique view of your own Ulyanovsk region, and I'm happy to have such good managers as yourself. We understand that road facilities is a part of our future, and over the years, within a few days, months, years, our road services must change and they should go digital. And when we want to implement a project like this, we need to make it as digital as possible and we need to provide it with efficient state support. Our Prime Minister has set a very good target, very good purpose. By 2024, we need to implement a number of plans, a number of goals. We really want our road services to improve in leaps. You know that we launched the system for encouraging investments. We allocate land plots and provide as much support and assistance as possible to road facilities. And we don't want to provide special priority to roads facilities. We want every industry and every business to get special support and special attitude. So far, we have established perfect regulations for cooperation and communication inside the municipality, between the municipalities, and between the municipality and business. Also, there is the feasibility risk, but there are still demand risks. But we want to keep in mind that road services are not only services for those traveling, but we want people to move along comfortably, regardless of the target of the journey. It has already been said that we have this latest idea that we originally adopted from the Moscow region. We have our industrial parks. We allocated funds for these parks, and these budgets will help us fund the purchase of mobile, non-stationary commercial facilities. They can be used by catering specialists or whatever. And if you want to buy a car like this, a mobile station like this, you will be able to expect around 50% compensation subsidy. Sometimes, if you want to reach any site, the road does not lead you directly to the site. Sometimes there are 1 kilometer away. Sometimes the road is 1 kilometer away from the site. And we want to put a road service facility within that 1 kilometer to make the trip, to make the journey comfortable for our tourists. And it takes centralization. It takes assistance from the Development Corporation of the Republic of Bashkortostan. It takes involvement of the Ministry of Trade and Entrepreneurship. That's why I'm convinced that today this section will result in effective developmental tools for this industry. You know that by the end of the day, we want to outline all the trends and risks of the future prospects and figure out the plan how to respond to them. I wish you a fruitful day. On our part, we will do whatever depends on us to contribute to the development of the road service facilities. We want to give the investors and entrepreneurs the biggest toolkit. Thank you.
Thank you, Rustam Hamichovich. And we are going to continue working on the analysis of implementing the mechanisms of conceptions on the municipal level. And this is why I want to ask Rustam Zabirovich to give a few words on realization in your region. I know that you have been a business sheriff, and I know that some of the objects are in your region and how the investors and entrepreneurs react to this. I've been talking to a colleague. He's a business sheriff too. It's not important. It's not really easy to speak after the colleagues because they have mentioned everything. So we have established business sheriff institute in each region, and they have a vice head of the investigations in each of the ministries. They work with the investors, and Yulia Sergeyevna, I would like to thank you for the given floor, and I think it's an important part in attracting the investors, and thank you very much for giving this opportunity. And as we have already mentioned, thanks for the government and the Republican government and the overall government. I think that we have, due to this, we have these tools to attract investors, to give them some preferences, and government which is close to the city, which is also has some cons and pros. We know that we need, in order to develop our road services, we need to make new working places and get more budget, and also we need to rearrange some taxes, land taxes, and we have these tools which we have in our republic. And as my colleague has already mentioned, nowadays we have this federal road M7 Volga, which is about 80 kilometers. And in this road, I'm going to tell about federal road. There is 21 objects. We have three large objects, including on the federal roads. We have 7 services complexes, and we have these 7. And these 7 complexes, they are every 10 kilometers. So this is how we tell our tourists that we have this all over the place. And those objects of touristic sphere also allows us to provide all the municipal needs and get some budget. We start with the getting the plot ready, as always, and in most of the cases, we give it to the ready-made investor. And I think that we have a lot of competition between investors, and we choose investors. We have a lot of criteria. We give an analysis. It's very deep, and this is how it goes pretty much. And the next point is that we get this entrepreneurship hours, so-called. It's a conference, and starting with this entrepreneurship conference, we realize these projects under the guidance of government. So if we have we discuss if we have some requirements, and we give this information to the investor. So the investor knows what kind of land plot this is, and like for example, the Priorali in Federal Road, and how popular it is for the cars. So this is why the investor is going to give this information, but we also are going to get some information on investor. And so if we have like an opinion, a total view, and we discuss all of these topics. This year we built 19 objects. 2 of them, for example, we work with Lukoil, some bigger organizations, and when we have road services in every 10 kilometers, we have this competition between investors, and so we can speak about some modernization of these objects. We have them placed on Yandex maps and QR codes right now. Thank you very much, but we have to interrupt you. I would also like to comment that the investor is going to fight for this land plot in order to be able to participate in the project, because in a lot of regions people fight for the investors, but in your region it's vice versa. This is why we need to get this investitional media. Thank you very much for all the figures, because I've been speaking to your region, and I also need to give the word to Anje Ahmadulina, because we need to see the investors. People don't get who the investors are, because a lot of people, a lot of government, people from the government, they say that they don't get enough investors. So we need to let the investors see this object.
Dear colleagues, it's better to see once with your own eyes instead of hearing about something for many times. So let's take a look at the video.
Так выглядел наш.
This is how our facility used to look like before Mr. Habirov visited it. And after this visit, he gave a very positive feedback. And I guess that it has given a momentum to our project and to creation of our program. We realized that it is a good idea to arrange campings like this along the road. That's why we have switched to the second stage of our projects. We are establishing saunas, workshops, and we are expanding the range of our services that we offer. Today we want to create a center of attraction with our authentic features, national features like national food, workshops, contests. We provide services to the products of Bashkortostan such as souvenir shops. And within our second stage, we are expecting the next momentum. We have already invested 13 million rubles, and we guess this cost will grow to 50 million. We've been allocated the bidding-free land plot, and I guess that we will use the opportunities out there. You said that you're expecting to launch grants. I'm actually thinking about establishing a visit center near the camping, and if there are grant opportunities, we will absolutely apply for it and do our best to win. Thank you very much, Ms. Ahmadulina, for your contribution. To scale the best practices, it is important to have our next federal speaker, Sergei Mamykin, Deputy Operating Director of the Agency for Strategic Initiatives. When we are establishing connection with them, I would like to say that they have the largest library of best practices, and Mr. Mamykin is going to tell how these practices are supported by the Agency for Strategic Initiatives and if there are any initiatives from other regions. We also have our own interest in this. We have now the scalable solution, and the best practices are transferred to the Ministry of Economic Development. And 18 months ago, we had the confirmation that these practices will be transformed into the national project. So, Mr. Mamykin, you have the floor. Can you share your assessment? Can you share your vision? How do you view the scaling of such practices? Thank you very much, Ms. Alforova, for having me here today and for establishing this discussion. Just a little side comment that I would like to mention. Sergei Morozov has said something that really finds response in me. I really share his approach to work, and I really share his approach to investments and to his team. And I really share his perception that we need to learn more about our country, about our history, about our culture, and because it will bring the cooperation between authorities and businesses to the new level. I would like to give the credit to Mr. Muratov, the Deputy Prime Minister of the Government of the Republic of Bashkortostan, for disclosing such successful practices to us, because Bashkortostan has been a strong leader among Russian regions in these terms. They offer 56 practices that found demand in other regions. And so far, 20 practices have been already adopted by other regions, and I guess that this number will keep growing. Speaking about the road services, of course, I would like to say that it is the significant market with a lot of prospects. And if we analyze the traffic, we understand that it would be very profitable for investors to enter this market because there are many promising facilities out there and many promising opportunities. Road services not only establish the comfortable environment for travelers, but directly affect the development of entrepreneurship, encourage new facilities, encourage new enterprises, new businesses. And Ms. Alferova has already mentioned that the practice, the experience of the Republic of Bashkortostan, the knowledge of the insight of the road service facilities, the solutions that they've developed for themselves, their services can be scaled nationwide. Last year we started this work, and this year we jointly started considering the practices of the Republic of Bashkortostan and the Ministry of Transportation of the Russian Federation, we received recommendations for our initiatives for it to become a national project. And I guess it's a great news that we are moving in the right direction. Also, we create ratings of Russian regions. By the end of last year and this year, I would like to say that the Republic of Bashkortostan is one of the leaders in terms of development of road services because they have high quality and available, accessible infrastructure and environment. When we work with ratings, we see that some approaches are really worth promoting. I can't help saying that there are practices that partly adopt approaches of other regions and other colleagues of mine. But I've never seen anything exactly like this. I have never seen such a multifaceted approach like Bashkortostan undertakes. That's why I guess that your experience is the most valuable here. Over 20 applications that we're considering now include solutions that are worth scaling. And I guess that there are a lot of prospects out there, and these projects are very promising. And also we want to introduce some of them in the west of the country, in the Azov region. As a conclusion, I would like to say that our agency is absolutely down for helping to scale the experience and the knowledge and the insight of the Republic of Bashkortostan. I know that some ideas of the Republic of Bashkortostan can be spread nationwide and find popular with Russian regions. I guess that this approach should be transformed into the national practice, and I guess we should always take a look at what neighbors are doing. When we were discussing co-funding, we concluded that the session like this, should become the source of additional funds. Today, the Republic of Bashkortostan is capable of compensating some expenses, and we can see how enterprises are thriving within industrial parks or technical parks. For example, we can split the expenses between the agency, the institution, the ministry, and the business. The larger the project is, the larger the support should be. And support measures can directly influence the job opportunities, for example, and this is our KPI. This is something that we are heading towards. Let me wrap it up a little bit with a few suggestions. When we were traveling across Bashkortostan this morning, we were trying to draw a plan. How can we involve people of the Republic more? How can we encourage them to visit facilities more often? And why should they visit these facilities at all? We want to build this economy of impressions. We want to encourage people to rate their road services, and we can make it as a game. We want them to collect scores for visiting facilities, and it will be another attraction point for tourists. Mr. Morozov, I believe that you also have something to conclude with. I guess it's time we unite the order of the president to develop the car tourism in the country with the strategy like this. Yes, I'm actually all down for your idea. I guess that Bashkortostan's team can become the real leader, and you can try to unite these two big directions. Let me remind a few figures. 72 million people traveled domestically last year. Keep this in mind. 42 million cars are driven across the country. Economists say that car journeys are 30% cheaper and 30% more comfortable than any other type of journey. Experts say that if 50% of tourists traveled by car, the industry will get 250-300 billion rubles of income. If you pioneer in this, you will get a third of this money. Thank you very much for this conclusion. I guess that during this session we managed to really contribute and make difference in the road service industry. I want this session to become the historical event. I am convinced that every of you is directly involved into this development of this industry, and I guess that you will keep visiting these facilities. I really hope that soon many regions will get road facilities like Bashkortostan does. So let's move to the next session. Thank you very much. Just a second. Dear colleagues, let's enter Salavat Hall to take part in the official opening ceremony of the International Business Week.